It's May 24th, 2024. I am at Joel Pearl, and it's time to get in the weeds. A very busy, very weedy, very incredibly busy show today. And of course, over the weekend. Jeremy Lambert's here to go through it all, get you all ready, have some fun. How you doing, Jeremy Lambert?
Joel, I'm well. You know what, Joel? For today, and today only, I don't know, maybe in the future episodes as well, but for today, you know what we're going to do at the end of this show, Joel?
What?
We're going to actually get in the weeds. We're going to go outside. It's going to be a busy weekend for everyone. So at the end of this show, we're going to go outside. We're going to touch some grass because I feel like this weekend, everyone's going to just be inside. You got SmackDown tonight. It's live from Saudi. You got the King and Queen of the Ring tomorrow night. You got tomorrow afternoon. You got Collision tomorrow night. You got Double or Nothing on Sunday. It's a really, really busy weekend. So you know what we're going to do before the weekend, before we're all inside watching wrestling all weekend, end of the show, we're going to kick off the weekend right by getting outside, getting in the weeds, literally, and touching some grass. All right?
Yeah, no, I don't know how much I trust that statement, but what I will say is getting outside, touching grass is important. And listen, if you want to watch SmackDown, you don't have to watch it at your normal time. You can watch it 1 p.m. Eastern if you really want.
Sure, but you're still gonna. Then you got Rampage to watch tonight at 6. What I'm saying is there's a lot of wrestling.
But it's at 6. That's before the sun goes down.
People might want to watch basketball tonight. People might want to watch hockey tonight. What I'm saying is it's just a busy weekend with a lot of stuff. So at the end of the show, we're going to go outside and we're going to get literally in the weeds, in some grass. Not that kind, but like literally in the grass. You going to join me, Joel, or are you just going to leave me out to hang and just put me outside by myself?
I was out at 7:30 this morning. I'm good. I got 2 hours out, run around, do the thing, take the kid to school. I'm good. Till I go out later, I'm hanging out at home. I got
fine, Joel. Fine. Everybody else in the chat, we're going to go outside at the end of this show. You're going to join me on the outside and take in the element. It's actually nice here in Ohio. It's very rarely nice here in Ohio because it's Ohio. So we're going to enjoy the nice weather. Okay, everybody? I hope everybody joins me outside at the end of the show. If not, fine, whatever. I'll go outside by myself.
Mike Straw, I woke up at 6:30, so here we go. Woke up at 8:30. Son of a... Anyway, we got a great show for you. Sound like I'm about to do a late night talk show monologue. Mike Santana joins us at 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to talk to him about the House of Glory shows that are coming up this weekend, available on Triller Plus. He is the House of Glory World Champion. He's defending tonight against Matt Riddle. He's defending the next night against JT Dunn. And then this crazy MFer that he is goes over across the pond for a match on Sunday in London, England. He's part of Progress's Super Strong Style 16 tournament. So, buddy, looking forward to chatting with Santana at 11 a.m. Eastern. Plenty to do there. And Jeremy, the news has been newsing the last few days. We got to talk about some select stories. We got to talk about some SummerSlam stuff that happened while y'all were on the air during the spotlight yesterday. We got to talk about some Twitch and terrible penmanship and awful lore and title shots for everybody. Title shots for all. There's a lot of wrestling going on.
I know. That's why we're going outside at the end of the show.
That's why you're going outside. Listen, the rest of the people, the rest of the people, if you're listening on a device that you can take outside, take it outside with Jeremy. I can't. This entire desk coming outside, not going to happen. Can't do it. It stays here.
You got a phone, Joel.
Allegedly.
All right, fine. Terrible lore. What are we talking? Wait, no.
Okay, it's not terrible lore. What was terrible was the penmanship on the person who was on that Twitch stream. Typically, when you do a Twitch stream like an ASMR thing, it's because you're good at ASMR. When you do a video game stream, it's because you're pretty good at video games. When WWE does an Uncle Howdy Twitch stream and it's just guy writing on a piece of paper with a Sharpie, you expect the penmanship to be a little bit, a little cleaner. It just wasn't very good. Come on.
This therapist has been missing for over a week now. Are we not concerned about this therapist? WWE on their Twitch channel a week ago had this therapist for 45 minutes sitting there getting handed letters and then stepping out of the room, coming back in, and all of a sudden she was missing. For a week, she's been missing. WWE promoted this on their Twitch. And now we don't care about this therapist? I'm very concerned. I don't care about these letters. I care about these letters and these coordinates and all this nonsense. We need to find this therapist. WWE is responsible. Call your local cop right now and tell them that there is a missing therapist.
No.
And WWE has promoted this missing therapist, and they have not done anything to find her. I've not seen an APB. That's what it's called, right? Yes. I've not seen this being put out there. I've not seen WWE go and contact the authorities. I've not seen any investigations. WWE is responsible for this. They are held liable. This was on their Twitch channel.
Maybe they ate her.
We got to get to the bottom of this.
The people are savages. Who knows what they did?
I know. That's the problem. Do you think that she's like in a box somewhere? You ever seen the show You? Great show. You think she's in like a glass case box below a library or below a bookstore? Is that what we think?
It's entirely possible. Under the floorboards, you're saying?
Possibly.
My God. Someone in the
we
chat.
We need to get to the bottom of this.
Someone's saying that you could hear screaming for help on the. I couldn't hear that, especially when. Well, then the music came on halfway through, so maybe that was them trying to stop one of the screamings from getting out.
Nobody seems concerned about this therapist. Oh, penmanship and coordinates. Where are the coordinates leading to?
One of them led to Scarborough, Ontario, and I can tell you from experience, nothing good happens in Scarborough, Ontario. So whatever those coordinates were, I'm just assuming they were going to a bunch of really bad places that you should never visit.
We need more concern for this therapist.
I'm more concerned about people leaving a thumbs up on the video. I'm more concerned.
Wow, Joel.
Yeah, well, listen, one of these people are going to pay my bills, and it ain't going to be the missing therapist.
It might be if you find her. You don't know the reward.
She ain't got a reward. She's a therapist. No offense to the therapists in our lives. We love them. This one,
Joel Berry's therapy.
First of all, no, I do not. I very, very happily promote the therapy that I'm a part of and that others should be as well. That being said, this therapist not very good at her job. Got herself kidnapped.
She got kidnapped.
How good is she at her job?
Why are you victim blaming?
Anyway, the thumbs up. Do that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Go ahead. This is the type of content that we have. You got people confirming my statements in the chat. Nothing good happens in Scarborough. That's true. It's just not a good place to be. But a good place to be also is on the audio front. And if you are listening to us in audio form, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review. Not just the other Fightful channel, but also Overbooked. We are 2 separate channels. Leave a 5-star review. It moves us up the search engines, and it tells people that you want more people listening to people like us, at which point you're welcome or I'm sorry. But do it anyway. 5 stars, get you far. Just like us. And of course, donate a super chat helps pay the people on this platform that are not named Jeremy or Joel and get your question or statement read on the air a little bit quicker than maybe we would otherwise.
If you are listening on audio form, you will want to watch the video for the end of the show and enjoy the nice outdoors with me.
Yeah, it'll be okay. The reward is $7.
Do you know how much you can do with $7? Do you know how far you can get with $7?
Oh, is that the question? No, yeah, I don't.
You can get very far. So we were at cares about wrestling. We were at this thing. This past week. The reason why I missed Wednesday's show, and they were doing speeches, right? And the teacher's giving this great speech about it's perseverance and hard working, and it's great to have all these great students and how much they've accomplished this year and all this stuff. And she says in the middle of their speech, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson once said, I leaned over to my wife and I said,
"Now go home and smoke some more crack."
she's trying to give this nice speech about perseverance. And I'm just like, The Rock once said, go home and smoke some more crack.
It is a fact. He did say it. We do have the recording. That's his voice.
I think she gave some quote about like he gave some quote about working hard or whatever. I have no idea what quote she used because I was too busy cracking jokes about The Rock said go home and smoke some crack. The Rock said I once had $7 in my pocket. No idea what The Rock actually quote about hard work and perseverance. Who cares? The Rock said go home and smoke some more crack. That's the quote. That's what the teacher said. Teachers, it's great to have students this year. You all did such a great job for your school year. Perseverance, hard work, dedication. As Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson famously said, go home and smoke some crack, kids.
But they should have just used all of the statistics that he dropped in that same promo, just to lend a little bit of factuality. I'm making up words for the hell of it. Just add some facts and some context to the statement that they were going to use. That's what you got to do. Otherwise, really, why would you quote the Rock if you're not going to use the proper lead up to the
What
Rock?
if they had stats for the school? Is like, we found from the school only 1% of you were caught smoking crack today.
That's a all-time low for Ohio.
Oh, it's school, Joel. These kids, they shouldn't be getting crack, but we're trying to raise the crack numbers here in Ohio.
You start them young. That's what we've been told our entire life. Children are the future, so start them young. Start them young on what? Doesn't matter. We were told to start them young, and we are a culture of following the rules.
What we need to do is raise our smoking crack numbers to Phoenix, Arizona levels. We're way behind them. Their children, their 8 to 16-year-olds, I guess that's the demo, I don't know. Their 8 to 16-year-olds, they're at a 30% smoking crack rate. We are only at a 1%. We got to get these numbers up. It's like the South Park episode where Mr. Mackey's just passing out the drugs to everybody. He's like, okay, who took all the drugs? Okay. We just need to pass out crack in schools. Get these numbers up, kids.
I feel like that's not what we need to do.
My wife says I'm going to get banned from schools. Here's another story.
She's right, by the way.
True.
It's a very valid point.
I can't. This is how my brain works. Call that the Drake demo. Yes, thanks, Louis. It's so like I go to pick up the kids from school. And like when they're in the car, I'm listening to the Taylor Swift and everything because you got to and whatnot. When they're not in the car, I'm listening to my music. I'm listening to the Marshall, listening to Kendrick, a lot of Kendrick over the past few weeks. And like I listen to my music fairly loud. It's nice out now. So I got the windows down. So I like pull up to the school. Wop, that fuck them up. Wop. I'm gonna do my stuff. I'm like, shit, I gotta turn this down going into the school. I'm in like the pickup line for the school. And I got certified lover boy, certified pedophiles blaring through my system.
You know what the best part is? If you drove a white minivan just to add the effect, just to really hammer it home, that's what you listen to.
Like there's a line, like, there's the school zone right there. So like my music is blaring all the way, not like super loud or anything. I'm not in high school anymore, but I like to listen to it relatively loud. So my music is jamming here and I got the windows down and everything. And like right when I hit that school zone line, it's like, turn down real fast. Gotta make sure this is only for my ears. Can't be sitting in the pickup line. Bitch, why you trolling me? I'm tired, trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor. freaky ass, he is 69 God, freaky ass, he is 69 God.
I just got a message from the ITW Anonymous General Manager saying, in all caps, did not know this.
I don't tell these. I try to keep some of this stuff until it comes out on this show.
Hell of a conversation for you to have off the air later with your wife.
I turn it down. It doesn't play when the kids are in the car or anything. You know, it plays up until I get to the school zone. It turns down very low to where only I'm hearing it. And then once I'm, near enough, that's when I switch it over to the Taylor music. And I put the windows up by this point too, so it's just me. And I switched over to the Taylor music. So by the time the kids are in the car, we're all listening to Taylor Swift. It's fine.
I mean, listen, Chaz Moses makes the point. Most of the students in that school have already heard the song. But what's the point? You're the adult. You're not supposed to do it.
And what if I play the Kids Bop version?
Oh, that was the way to do it. Listen, that Kids Bop lore got us a lot of comments.
It did.
It really, really did. Shout out to those in the chat. By the way, there's oh my gosh. I keep blanking on names before I mention them, but the person who is always commenting on our videos, who lives in Australia, won one of our contests, and I'm completely messing up their name. I'm gonna pull it up, but anyway, I want to shout them out because they used to watch us live, and then it's Australia, so the show's on at like an obnoxiously late hour for them, or obnoxiously early. They comment on every video, and I just want to shout them out because I always appreciate reading their stuff after the fact because they rule. What's their name? Oh my god, they're yelling at me right now while they're listening to this too.
Good, you deserve it.
They are. I do deserve it because I should have these things right and ready for me. It's J&A's. Oh my gosh, I should know this. J&A's. Shut them out because they're always there, always commenting after the show. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Josh. What are we talking about today?
What do you want to start with? Do you want to start? Well, we've already started. Do you want to talk about the MJF stuff, or do you want to talk about 2 nights SummerSlam and the King of the Ring / Queen of the Ring stuff? Do you want to do WWE or do you want to do some AEW talk?
I don't care. Wow. I feel like we've talked enough about WWE. Like we talked about the King and Queen of the Ring scenarios. I don't know how much more we can. On.
We can add the news that dropped yesterday. Paul Levesque did mention that the King and Queen of the Ring will receive not necessarily world title shots, but they will receive a championship opportunity for the brand of their victory at SummerSlam. Some people were like, oh, maybe they're not going to go after the world title. Well, first of all, the women's title, you can only go after those women's, unless you're going to pull, unless like Bianca wins and she's like, Jade and I are going after the tag titles we already hold. So it's more likely the women's championship. And then the winner of the men's side gets their respective brand's champion at SummerSlam, which opens up possibilities a little bit more. So I just want to point that out. I'm glad they did it. I think it took entirely too long to get there, but we've added some stakes to King and Queen of the Ring, which, Jeremy, is something you and I talked about being a big part of the presentation moving forward if they want to make this more important.
I feel like now Orton is going to win for Orton and Cody at SummerSlam. Are you okay?
Smell something not good. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to make sure it's not my wife burning breakfast stuff.
Okay.
Here.
I feel like that's good scenario if it's just your wife burning breakfast. I feel like there's worse scenarios it could be.
We're just going to check. I'll be right back. Okay.
All right. So as far as King and Queen of the Ring go, you know what? Who cares? Ryan says, talk about the special guest at NXT next week. My wife had the great idea. Since Kendrick is like not copywriting, not like us, somebody should use that next week on NXT. And I realized that Euphoria has the sexy red mention, but someone should just use not like us on NXT next week. I guess it'd be Metaphor, right? Because they're the ones that had the line towards sexy red. So Metaphor should just come out. It's not like us. I think it'd be amazing. Everything good?
I think so.
Okay.
I went to check and she's like, oh, the eggs. And I was like, have you put the eggs on? There's no alarm, but I could smell it. I could smell the burning. She's like, no, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm just like, what are we doing? She's like, it's
All
fine. Nothing's burning. I'm like, but it smells like something's burning. She's like, yeah, I just put the pot on. I'm like, but it smells like burning. And here's the thing. You want to know why I was a little worried more than anything? Behind me, the Rey Mysterio mask is sitting on the lamp, but not on the bulb. And the bulb doesn't run hot. But I'm still a little nervous, as if the bulb is gonna, burn the mask or something. It's not the case. Nothing smells from this end. It's just out there, and I was a little concerned. But I've been told there's nothing to worry about, which I don't believe it. But it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right. Good.
It's fine. Not worried. It's fine.
Okay.
Check on it in 5 minutes.
We're talking about Sexy Red and NXT. I completely just dismissed King and Queen of the Ring stuff.
So this is all leading to Noam Dar and Lash Legend taking on Sexy Red and Trick Williams in a tag match, right? Is that what we're doing? Is that where we're going?
Oh, I said this was the wife suggestion, but someone should come out to Not Like Us because Kendrick's not copywriting it. So someone should just use it. I do think Noam Dar is going to drop. Like if it's Sexy Red and Trick Williams, Noam Dar is going to be like, in front of me, I see two bad bitches.
God, I love NXT for all the right reasons. Sexy Red coming into NXT is just like this match made in confusion where they want to make NXT the cool brand, and they've done a pretty good job with it. But then old asses like me and the people who cover it are just like, who? And whatever. Some of us are like, it's not for us. But then most of the people who watch it are like, yeah, this rules. That's good enough.
I have not heard a single Sexy Red song in my life. I listened to the snippet of this new song with Drake because Drake raps over the BBL Drizzy.
Yep, she's part of it too. I saw that too. Same clip.
Yeah, I listened to that clip. Otherwise, I've not heard a single song of her in my life. And I've written way more stories about her than because she's been a wrestling fan. She sampled the Shawn Michaels theme and everything. Like, I have no idea who she is, before all of this. Gets people talking. It's not my place to just be like, who? Like, it might not be for me. Hopefully it's entertaining. Hopefully it draws people in. But she's clearly a big fan. She clearly wants to do some of this. I think that's the biggest thing. Is like when these people show up, are they a fan or are they just like, hey, we just want you to get some attention? See, she seems like an actual fan of this stuff. So look forward to it. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun. Oh, now people are...
Jesus, Joel.
I think this is the test of a fire alarm. I hope.
Oh, no.
We'll see. It's Friday. Maybe it's not. Oh, God. I hope my place isn't on fire. It's way too early for this shit.
Oh, no.
Anyway. Seems we're
King
okay.
of the Ring.
King of the Ring. Is that what we're on? I'm going to try to pay attention now. I hear it. I hear it outside now.
Oh, no.
Anyway, we'll deal with that in a few minutes, shall we? The King and Queen of the Ring. It's the finals for the men and women on the SmackDown side is tonight. I'm hoping that it is. I don't even listen. You know what? Can you vamp for a second? I got to check this out. Something's going on here.
I think it's gonna be Orton and Gunther because it feels like it's gonna be Orton and Cody at SummerSlam. I think Gunther and Cody would be the better match. And I said it on Spotlight yesterday. I think Gunther should actually beat Cody at SummerSlam. And then Cody can win it back at Survivor Series. But it seems like if Gunther wins, he gets a shot at the World Heavyweight title. I don't feel like they're going to run Gunther and Drew or Gunther and Priest at SummerSlam. It feels like they're going to run Cody and Orton.
It's gotten weirder. There it is.
Oh boy.
This isn't my place. Hold on. Let's hear it.
Attention please. Attention please. This is your supervisory staff speaking. The fire alarm has been activated. The fire department has been called and are responding to our location. Attention please. Attention.
Gotta do it again.
This is your supervisory
This
staff
is
speaking. The fire alarm has been activated. The fire department has been called and they are responding to our location. Thank you.
we got all that without even using a QR code or anything. Like that just showed up.
So first of all, let's I do not need to evacuate. Nobody needs to evacuate. And by the way, this is all.
They're telling you to go outside, Joel. I told you.
They are. Yeah, you really set this up. You screwed me. It's a therapist. So this is what's going on. Just
That's a therapist crying for help on the stream.
They pulled the fire alarm. All the Joe Gacy stuff is suddenly coming to light. I'm harboring a therapist. Okay, so let's rewind for those just tuning in.
If you're just tuning in, rewind the entire show.
It's true. We're almost
just start from the beginning.
So I smell something burning. I think it's my wife burning eggs on the stove. No, it's not.
You think it's your wife?
I think it's my wife burning eggs on the stove, and I think it's my wife, but it's not. And then all of a sudden, I heard the beeping, but it's way outside. And I'm like, that's weird. It's not happening in the apartment. I thought something was happening. And then my wife was like, no, it's not me. It's out in the hallway. So it turns out whatever the burning was, it was a complete coincidence because our place is fine. There's no smell. It was just, it's something outside. And because the ventilation is all connected through this building, you smell it coming in.
Joel, grab your phone and go investigate. Let's do a live
No,
ITW investigation.
I will let the professionals investigate because they will be here.
This is the problem. You're like, you and all these other fans in wrestling are like, we're going to let the professionals investigate this missing therapist. What are the professionals doing? She's still missing. Sometimes you got to take matters into your own hands, Joel.
Nah. Listen, not until we're told otherwise do we have to actually go anywhere. So we're not going to go anywhere because otherwise, what's the point? We've done that before. It's not fun. We should look around the apartment building for QR codes. Louis sends a super chat saying through the fire and the flames, we weed on. Erman Lee is a great guitar player. Very confusing one. Dexter Loomis was a firefighter on that one show. Maybe he's coming to help me out.
What, Tacoma 99 or something like that?
I mean, Brooklyn 99 is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. It's like Tacoma. I'm pretty sure Tacoma was on the title.
Oh, whatever. Tacoma Dome.
No.
That's where they're gonna do Wrestle Dream.
My wife just messaged me and just said, I can't believe you turned this back to the therapist. It's like she's never met me. Of course I turned it back. Tacoma FD, that's what it's called. Yeah, I know something like that. Of course I turned it back into the therapist.
Tacoma FD. Oh my goodness. You know what? If my place really is burning down, then at least I won't be going in alone. I've got you, and of course I've got this guy. Cameron Hawkins joins us now from the Ringer. Surprise!
Hey guys,
you're just in time for my apartment to possibly burn down.
Oh, that's no fun. What's going on over there?
He won't go investigate it, Cam. Instead, he's just gonna sit there and let it burn. I keep telling him. Yeah,
I smelled something burning. I thought it was my wife who was making eggs, and then it turns out no, it was something out in the hallway of the building. So no, it was fine. She was legitimately making eggs, but she wasn't burning the eggs. So someone would like to apologize to her, but here I am. I don't care. I'm here because you're here.
Cam, we've got this missing therapist in WWE Twitch lore, and no one wants to go investigate it. No one wants to call the authorities. Here is Joel. He's like, fine. My house is just going to burn QR codes and Twitch streams and WhatsApp messages. Dude, we need to do something about this, everybody.
They're all in on it, man. I haven't actually gone in and watched, but I appreciate the attention to detail. I appreciate the levels that they're going to make this thing happen. And hopefully it's received well. I always tell the story, rest in peace to Bray Wyatt, whose birthday just passed. I always tell the story at Royal Rumble 2023, how, I'm with the media and we're disillusioned, disenchanted. We don't enjoy things the way we used to. And it's not to say whether this thing is good or bad, but people in media who were there physically, they were not into the Mountain Dew. Is it cold black?
Pitch black.
Rain? Pitch black. Okay. It was some kind of black. Familiar with that. So yeah, they were, not into it, but literally right outside of where we were sitting, you could hear kids oh my God, is Uncle Howdy okay? Super into it. So this thing is going to be properly analyzed, but also overanalyzed in some senses. And the kids are going to love it. And so I want to keep perspective of that as this thing goes through. You know what I mean? So yeah.
All of you are wrong for disliking the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match and the
I thought it was
greatness
cool. I thought
that
it was
came out of it.
cool.
Look, man, I saw one of Bray Wyatt's last matches ever. He did a dark match after SmackDown before Elimination Chamber, and he did LA Knight, and it was a street fight. Went through a table. It was fun. They filled the whole, like, you got the entrance, and that's really what it was all about with Bray. So this whole thing, I know Jeremy's like, never ring the bell with this new group. Never ring the bell with them. Never do a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Just present them as the lore merchants that they are, and I'm fine with that. Just let it be a gimmick.
I'm leaving the show. You used both of the words, like two of my least favorite internet words, lore and merchant. I'm genuinely pissed off, but I'll shake it off.
Everything I do it for you, Cam.
I don't think I have lore muted on Twitter. I absolutely have merchant muted on Twitter. But like the thing about lore, like while it's a proper use of the word, it's taken over like YouTube. And it used to be like the backstory of, or explaining, or here are some details about. Nope, now everything's lore. And the worst thing about it is like, your life isn't like I Am Legend. You're not Willow. You know what I'm saying? You're not one of the you're not with the crew who was trying to track down the rings and Sauron. You're a regular dude. You go to work, not you, Joel, you're amazing. But I just mean like using lore to describe like regular people's lives. And I'm just like, no, it's not that deep. We live under this guise that everybody is unique. It's like, no. A lot of people are just regular. Because if everybody was unique, nobody would make anything interesting.
Yeah, after this, Cam's gonna mute Lore and Joel Pearl on
And Joel Pearl.
I mean, I'm way ahead of you on muting Joel. Kidding me?
I get it.
That's perfect. I love it.
I've muted myself. Who am I kidding? Did you know I walked out in the middle of I Am Legend? Not important. We're not talking about that right now.
Wow.
It was free.
Cam just got a very important message. The blue light lore just came up.
Okay. Oh, I got one of my wrestling friends. The only text that I saw was shoot the fade, but it was like it was from a bunch of other texts. It's about something specific, and I was like, "Damn, is he trying to beat me up?" So no, okay. I was like, "Oh no, what did I do this time?" No, yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the new article that just dropped. You did an interview with Mercedes Mone going into AEW Double or Nothing. Got a chance to read it this morning. Holy shit!
Yeah,
I can say right off the bat. Can I just tell you before we start? I know I put it over every single time you write something, but this particular one where you got to talk about your boys and their experience, your experience at WrestleMania, your experience meeting both Bayley and Sasha Banks at the time, and just that the first few paragraphs alone just suck you right into this article, to this piece of writing. If you haven't, I'm telling you now, go and read it, please. It's very well done.
Yeah, it was. You know what's so crazy about life now is like, you know, that was my first time meeting them, right? And then like WrestleMania in LA, we're like at Spotify kicking it with Bayley, right? And then like New Year's, this past New Year's, I'm talking to Rick on the phone. I'm like, yo, we're going to this comedy show tonight. What you doing? He's like, oh, going to a party at Bayley's house. And so like the steps that life has taken is just like so crazy, right? But no, it's one, salute to Cal for letting me tell that story, you know, because in other outlets, they may not let me present it that way. And, you know, he recruited me and he understands my voice. And so he understood like what part that played in the story. But yeah, man, like it's the most chance thing of all time. And, you know, Shells and I, you know, we both have our English degrees. We both, you know, work in education. We were in New Orleans, man. And he was like, yo, Cam, I know you're going to be in New Orleans. Can you be our D'Lo Brown? I said, sure, man. So it was me, him, and Renee. We were in a Nation of Domination. We're like at a bar in the middle of New Orleans, drinking, posing with the fists up. Like it was beautiful, man. And, you know, to run into Shells at Royal Rumble, you know, and I didn't get to put this in. It would have been too wordy. Shout out to Sean Radican, man. Sean Radican might be my favorite person in the wrestling media space. He goes super unsung. I got those media passes to the Rumble because Radican made a call for me. because this is before Cam can text WWE guy or AEW guy and get on that list. You know what I mean? So salute to Radican for making it happen. Man, me and Peanut made that 3-hour drive up the road, had a nice hotel. Like we each got like, he paid for both. He paid for 2 rooms because he was so happy that I got us tickets, man. It was great. So I see Shells, and Shells is like wearing like this scarf that I remember. And he's up yelling. I look over. I was like, Peanut, that's my homeboy Shells from Twitter and blah, 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 blah. So we leave, man. We're taking pictures together. And I was like, hey, let's go back to the hotel. Let's record a podcast. So it's them, my buddy Jason, his cousin. We're all in there. We're joking. I mean, I still got those videos of Shells recording the podcast somewhere. But afterwards, it's like, yo, let's go get a drink. And I didn't put this. The first person we saw crossing the street was Michael Cole, right? And like, it's Michael Cole. Like, I'm not gonna bother Michael Cole. But then we see Bailey and Sasha, and they both have like very distinct looks, do not look like anybody else. They're with like the boyfriends and the husbands and all that. So again, I don't want to be a bother. And I'm just like, hey, big fan. I keep it moving. Shell stops and like puts his leg up on the curb and rolls his pant leg up to show him the tattoo. And they get a big kick out of it. And it's the coolest thing. And again, in how it went to the story, man, Mercedes is really remind me to block Remedy, first of all. But yeah, Mercedes, one thing I wrote just on Twitter a second ago, and Jeremy, you're familiar with this. People talk about betting on themselves, and a lot of times what they're really saying is that team didn't want me no more, so now I got to go sign somewhere else. That's what they're really saying. That's not the case with Mercedes. Mercedes could have lived a cushy life in WWE until the end of her wrestling days, right? But she's ambitious, man. She's got goals. And I love the idea that the WWE product, I think from an athletic standpoint, is in the best place that it's ever been, right? However, you can't argue the fact that most of the talent is under the tutelage of the same training, meant to do a similar style. Like there's no argument over that. That's not a bad thing. But Mercedes is an artist in the way of, I've been watching these Japanese wrestlers. I've been watching Aja Kong, Manami Toyota. Like I've been watching them since I was a kid. Like I want to feel that. I want to experience that. So man, she packed up, did her thing in Japan, and AEW. What's not a secret, but a blessing that AEW has, that WWE might eventually get around to. They'll let you go play on other people's courts. You know what I'm saying? And that was her big goal. Like she wants to wrestle in Japan, and while WWE is a global brand, WWE does not claim to be a global style or does not claim to incorporate all styles of wrestling. She wants to go get it. And I love that she's clear and concise about wanting to go get it. And listen, I think that there's so many platitudes in entertainment, period, right? I want to make an impact. I want to leave a lasting mark. I want to change the culture around here, stuff like that. I said specifically, what is your mission statement? And she did not shy away from it. I want to make women's wrestling a global thing. And the way that I do that is, 1, being the very best wrestler in the world, and 2, taking my show on the road. Hey, that's what it's supposed to be.
I think with Mercedes, she said this mission statement in your article, and she said it in past of like trying to make AEW global. And that's something you can't do in WWE, in the sense that like they're kind of already global. They're already going to Japan. Like maybe they're not working with other companies, but they already have their foothold in all of these other places without the other companies. AEW is America, Canada once a year, and for a tour, maybe twice a year for like a tour, but short stints, and then London once a year for a weekend. Like they don't go to all these other places that WWE goes to. And when you are somebody like Mercedes who is dreaming, like, no, I want AEW to go here. I want to bring my style here. I want to bring these styles here as well. You can't do that in WWE. It's just not as possible because they kind of, like Cam said, they already have their style. They're already in all of these places. The room for growth, like you're a bigger star in WWE. I don't think that's inarguable or anything. Like the platform, the machine, everyone's just comes off as a bigger star in WWE. But to make something else a big star, that is what Mercedes is trying to do. And one, I think you captured it very well. One thing I always enjoy about your writing, which I try to put over, is like the story within the story that you tell, and going back to you and your friends meeting Mercedes and Bailey and having the courage to be like, look at this tattoo. Like that can go one of two ways. Yeah. It can go very much of like, oh, that's very cool. It's so sweet. And like, it can be genuine, or it's like, okay, thanks. Let's move on here. But I love the story within a story that you always tell with your art.
Risk, man. But he was fearless. And again, like this thing could fail. You know, like all things, like all ambitions, like all goals, like all dreams, it could fail. But it won't fail on account of talent and drive. You know what I mean? Like what's really interesting was some people have had bad experiences in meeting Mercedes Mone. I think we all have heard good things and bad things. First thing my buddy asked me, like, was the conversation bad? I was like, no, the conversation was great. You know what I mean? But I think that, like with her specifically, the thing you don't doubt is the talent. The thing you don't doubt is the drive. She wants to go get it. And so it won't be for lack of trying. I think that, you know, an advantage that they have is AEW can bring in anybody not signed to WWE from any corner of the world, and at least a quarter of that audience in the building and about 65% of the office or of the audience watching at home will know exactly who that is. And so they can tap into these global talents and then turn around, flip that, and go wrestle in their house. And I don't mean as AEW wrestler, but I mean the way Moxley's killing it in Japan, the way that Danielson wants to go get it in Japan. Like, you know, the way that they can have these matches with the guys in England, turn around and sign an Ospreay. That's the advantage that they have, that they can go and have these one-off matches or participate in these tournaments. And to me, like, her list is a lot like Cody's list was. But at this point, she's further along in the ring than Cody was at the time. I mean, yeah, she if this thing is going to work, there's got to be a machine behind it. But I think that once she start putting on these matches, because she said it flat out, I'm the best women's wrestler in the world. Whether you agree or not, she's going to try to show you. You know, like her and Willow are going to go out there and kill it this weekend. I don't know how regularly they're going to have her on, like week by week, but you're going to get the best out of her every time. You know what I mean? And after this long layoff, man, she's going to come out like a crazy person. She absolutely is.
There was one part of the article where you talk about support systems, and I thought that was something that's very important, not just for us as just people to take stock of, but it really does set the example of how Mercedes runs. She has a team. She has people who gas her up, but also push her to do the things that she wants to do. Did you find yourself kind of thinking about that on your own after you had that conversation and wrote about it?
So let me ask you why I asked that.
Don't give me questions for questions, Cameron. What are we doing?
Yeah, let me tell you. No, let me answer why I asked that. I apologize. Got a friend who's a wrestler who catches a lot of flack for supporting his friends who also wrestle because they don't wrestle under the same banner. But the Mercedes Mones and Trinity Fatus and Baileys of the world do not get the same flack for showing up and supporting their friends. And I tell you what, the podcast will come out tomorrow. And Mercedes very clearly states how ridiculous tribalism is and how, listen, she said, we don't ask permission. We go and support each other. What happens on the back end happens on the back end. But what's important in life, what matters is family. That's more important than all of this. And I love that she stated that because, you know, her and Trinity, they walked out of WWE. And at the time, a lot of people were saying, wow, Mercedes is going to be fine. I don't know if Trinity is going to be fine, right? But hey, Trinity was over there in TNA killing it, and Mercedes and Bayley was right there supporting her. You know what I mean? And, you know, here on the flip side, now she's in position in WWE. She's in the title picture. Bayley's champ. Mercedes is challenging for the title. You know, one of their biggest acts. And yeah, I love the trust that they have in one another and the belief they have in one another and how that supersedes all of these things. Listen, I've seen somebody walk into McDonald's in a Burger King uniform to get a Big Mac. And nobody, it was funny in the moment, but nobody thought, wow, how dare you portray the king? Like, no, that's not what happened. The king is fine.
Man, the Burger King mash just jumps out and punches them.
Could you imagine? Yo, if Sneak King pulled up on you, put you in a headlock.
Ronald McDonald shows up. Like, no, we don't want you people in here. Get out of here, you Burger Kings.
How frightened would you be if, like, you turn a corner and Grimace is just standing there? Right? But seriously, but no, I love that that she didn't shy away from it at all because, you know, this is not somebody I've talked to before. This is someone who is not above other talents, but like, look, she's in Star Wars, man. Like she's in Hollywood. She's doing Fashion Week. Like Snoop is her cousin. Like she's out here recording her own songs. The one thing I didn't ask, I needed to know what the dance move was called. I did not ask that. I'll hate myself forever for not asking. It's the what?
It's just the CEO dance, isn't it?
It's just the CEO dance? Okay.
You want to do it, Cam? You want to do it?
Yes, CEO. It's a little chicken noodle soup. But yeah, I didn't ask that. But yeah, no, I love that. And then, you know, we flipped that to her, Bianca, Trinity, Jade, Willow, you know, all existing at the same time in the same space. And I also appreciate because again, like when you start talking race, you don't know how somebody's going to respond to that. Like some people don't want to talk about that, and that's their prerogative. Listen, like, you know, everybody, you know, can't be Eldridge Cleaver. That ain't what the game is. But she was also very adamant. No, this is the goal. This is necessary. This is what it's supposed to be. Black women are supposed to be here in the forefront of all this. I love it. I love it. She was a lot more open than maybe I expected. And here's the best thing about it. Normally, like, you know, Danielson's a talker, right? So we talked like an hour and change. Max is a buddy of mine, so we talked for an hour. Sting, we talked for an hour. Me and Rick, you know, that's my man forever. I talked to Mercedes for 12 minutes. 12 minutes. But I think that so much of what she's done has played out in public, or it's easy to connect the dots with her. For someone who is not doing a million interviews, her moves are very clear. Her moves are very determined and precise. And so it was easy to kind of follow the board with what got her from NXT to here. And some things don't need to be said. You know what I mean? We watched the Four Horsewomen. We watched, you know, her, you know, compete for that main event spot. We watched her get there. And I don't think that being disillusioned is anybody's fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, yeah. People's parents get remarried all the time, right? Disillusionment is not a bad thing. It's need of change. And she at no point had anything bad to say about WWE other than I need to go do something different. And I think that that's good for all parties, not to have bad things to say about your previous place, but to acknowledge the things that you were able to do there and the things that you want to do. So, yeah.
I think when it comes to a Mercedes interview, and you can correct me since you've talked to her, as someone who's listened to a ton of Mercedes interviews, she is very concise in things because I think she kind of has points she wants to make. She's going to make those points. And then she's going to, like, if you ask her about why'd you leave WWE, it's like, well, I needed to do new things. Okay, why'd you walk out? It's like, that's a story for a different time. Like, she's been asked a lot of stuff since she's signed with AEW during her hiatus and everything. And Mercedes, some of the stuff comes off a little, it feels like it's in character as to who she is. It's certainly in WWE when she was a heel and she gave you that laugh, the Sasha Banks laugh, like ton of interviews with that. But her wrestling is what makes her stand out so much. And because she hasn't been able to wrestle, it almost feels like, and again, you can correct me on this, but like in these interviews over the past few months since she signed with AEW, it feels like she's just been waiting to get back in the rings. Like, this is where I'm going to talk. And then we can start really having conversations about stuff, because now it's like, I'm back. I'm in the ring. I'm at home. I'm at peace with everything. I proved that I can still go. And now we can have the conversation about wrestling and not, why are you here? What are your goals? Why'd you leave WWE? Why? Like, now we can have wrestling conversations, because it feels like that's what she wants to have. She just hasn't been able to have it because she's been out for a year.
The timing was super important, both for the show coming up, and for, her being rehabbed, her having prep for this, her having been training. Absolutely. And, she said, like, I don't want to put a lot of pressure on myself. She was like, but man, I had plans from the time, Willow and I fought over the New Japan Women's Strong title. That was supposed to go into my next thing to do. And now I gotta take a year off. You know what I mean? So yeah, and also, Jeremy, I think that, like you said, why did you leave has been done to death. Why are you here is going to give you a more detailed answer. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because again, it allows her to follow her own timeline and talk about her goals, as opposed to the things that might have dissuaded her from staying. So absolutely. Yeah, man. She's, I don't know if open book is the right term, because again, we're talking about 12 minutes, right? But there was nothing I asked that I felt like she shied away from. Nothing I asked she didn't have a clear answer on. Excited to be where she is, excited to show and prove. And I think that I wish that more people would be clear about the things that they want. Like, I think I framed it this way, but we ended up editing it. But basically, in some ways, her and Jade is a talent trade, right? Even though there are no trades in wrestling, Mercedes is on one path. I think that Jade is better served in a system like WWE that can showcase her the way that they can, that can plug her into the different arenas and venues that they can. And I think everybody benefits for it. And anybody who would knock Jade for making the move, or think less of her, or knock Mercedes and think less of her, does not understand like what these systems and companies are. You know what I mean? Like, you're not paying attention. You are clinging on to an idea that you're required to choose a side in this thing, as opposed to enjoy what you enjoy.
Cam, before we let you go, because we do have another guy coming in about 5 minutes. First of all, thank you for joining us. Second of all, 2 questions. 1, will the audio drop? 2, match Double or Nothing this Sunday. May as well get your prediction on the record. Willow and Mercedes for the TBS Championship. Who's walking out on winner?
Audio tomorrow morning, because we got to let the article breathe. These weekends. Your article will be tomorrow morning. I'll be free all day. There's no wrestling for me tomorrow. But yeah, hopefully people do get to touch on that. And then I got Mercedes. I think that Mercedes should always be a heel. Like, she just should. She is just good in that role. And I'm not, I met Aja Kong, who's the sweetest lady in the whole world. But the Aja Kong matches that I've seen, the Toyota matches that I've seen, are limited. Even though I did a little legwork, after we spoke. But Eddie he's my guy, he's her guy, he's everybody's guy. One thing you'll hear on audio as incentive to listen, It's not that she just asks Eddie for advice, like Eddie's like disembodied Jedi, right? She asked her Eddie Guerrero action figures around her house for advice on what to do. And I was like, this is so sweet. Like, how sweet is that, right? But yeah, like undersized, cutthroat, but precise heel. I love it. I love that. And that's who she should be. Yeah, I got her winning that title, having some really good matches here over the next couple of months. I think that's going to be really, really fun. And, hopefully she gets to take that thing on the road. I want to see that belt on parade in those matches that I don't watch at 4 a.m. That's what I want to see.
Oh, I mean, listen, if she's going to work in Japan, it's probably going to be still at 4 a.m.
There you go.
But that's how it is, Cam. Thank you so much for joining us, and go check out the new article on the Ringer. Go to theringer.com. If you just search Mercedes Mone, Cam shows up right at the top. We got a super chat from Volab saying big love to Cam. We appreciate the sentiment. We send it right back. Cameron Hawkins, come right back, would you?
Absolutely, my brothers. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great Friday, a great 3-day weekend. All right.
Appreciate you.
Thanks,
brother.
Cam. You too, Ben.
Take care of yourself. Cam Hawkins, my goodness. Picks his spots, picks them well. Multitude of reasons. Comes on this show, says, "Hey, don't tell anyone." I'm like, "All right, I won't tell anyone."
Yeah, you messaged me. I guess it was yesterday, and you're just like, "Cam's gonna come on as a surprise." I was like, "Okay." And then I saw the article this morning, and I was like, "Oh, all right, now it makes a little bit more sense."
Yeah, he told me, he's like, "Hey, kayfabe this. Mercedes article drops tomorrow, and I want to talk about it." I'm like, "Sure, all right, let's do it. No questions asked." That's how we roll with him. But yeah, he said he wanted to do it and said, "Don't tell anyone." I said, "Can I tell Jeremy?" He's like, "Yeah, go tell Jeremy." So I told
Like,
you.
I mean, like, you can do a surprise guest with me. I don't care.
But also, like, Cam's a buddy of ours. We speak to him frequently on and off air. So for us to have him on is not only a treat, but also when he's got something to plug, like a new article for Ringer, that's always good stuff. So we love having him come around. And he, like I said, picks his spots well because he shows up and then our next guest is a few minutes out the way. So we can keep moving on. And it's a good show. Flows properly, just like that.
Sad I didn't get to talk to Cam about MILF Manor. We got to have him back just to talk about that.
By the time when is the finale? Do they have a finale for the show? It's a 6-week show. No
finale for MILF Manor. No, they're only like 3 weeks into this thing. They got a while.
How long is the show normally? How long is the season?
I don't know. It's everlasting if you want it to be, Joel.
That's fair. It's a MILF Manor summer.
I think it's like 10 weeks at the very least, so it's got a little while.
Listen, I'm sure Cam will be back by the time.
You think I should ask Mike Santana about MILF Manor?
Listen, you can ask him just about anything. He's made us cry before. I think it's time for us to make him sigh and be upset with us.
Mike, what do you think about the MILF Manor?
MILF Manor Millennium. It never ends. There will always be MILFs.
He's gonna talk about wrestling plenty. Like, what?
Ask him about
cares?
Watching reality TV. This is the time. Yeah.
I'll ask if he's just watching reality television and then just go from there.
Someone asking if we get Solomonster. This is the second show in a row where someone's used the Solomonster name while in your presence, Jason Solomon.
Yeah, we might be able to get him on Spotlight soon.
I know
I think Jensen.
That's a big get for Jensen. I've listened to Solid Monster. I've heard his stuff. He's been around for a long time in this game. I used to listen to him do post shows with Wade Keller once in a while. It was about 5 years ago. So he's been around. He's a good dude. So I'll let Jeremy and Jensen do that because I think that interview is much more a creator spotlight type of interview, a long form than it would be with us. But if he has something to plug for like 5 minutes, he can do it. Because isn't he also like the GM of House of Glory?
I think so. Yeah.
So maybe sometime we'll have him on as the House of Glory general manager in that official capacity. Who knows? Oh, let's go. It's just all the MILF shows. So you think you can MILF? Are you smarter than a MILF?
Oh, they'd 100% do.
No MILF.
They'd 100% do. Are you smarter than a MILF? Are you kidding me? That's printing money right there.
Haven't they done Are You Smarter Than a Porn Star before? I'm pretty sure that's a show that's
not on like cable.
Maybe I was watching a video sometime.
Maybe that was on Xvids, Joel.
It could have been a tube video. I'm sorry. Queen of the MILFs. Of course, that comes from our pal Alex, Queen of the Rings. So that works. Alex, you missed the lore talk.
She was here for part of Cam's interview.
No. I'm talking Twitch lore. She watched that thing live on stream. I was there.
Good. It was everyone should have.
It was just before TNA, so I popped in on Alex's stream, watched it with her and her people, and man, it was something. Looking at the coordinates, everyone's piecing things together. I thought Kim Gray and her kid were going to pop in and try and figure it all out together. Nope, not that. Instead, we were all just piecing the show together. Go check out Alex's content. It's fantastic.
Everyone should do these things,
especially the MILF challenge, Dancing with the MILFs, MILF Factor, Survivor MILF Edition, RuPaul's MILF Race, Master MILF is a questionable one.
Is it? I don't feel like any of this is questionable.
Who is the master of the MILF?
We might find out on MILF Manor, honestly.
It's true. It's not Lisa Ann. And then Alex was making breakfast.
She might be queen of the MILFs.
No, I'm not saying that Alex is queen of. No, not doing this.
No, thing. Not Alex. I'm saying.
Lisa Ann. Okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. RuPaul's MILF race is still very funny. MILF whispers. Anyway, Mike Santana is going to join us momentarily. We'll talk about a whole slew of stuff that he's up to in wrestling, and maybe even outside. Who knows? Maybe he's super into reality TV, and he's going to talk to us all about it. But he's scheduled to join us shortly. Very quickly, 2-night SummerSlam 2026. US Bank Stadium gets their WrestleMania makeup. Jeremy, you think this is going to be a sign of things to come?
Yeah, probably. Feels like Rumble will eventually expand to 2 nights as well. And then I don't know if they'll do it for Survivor Series, but Rumble makes a lot of sense. If they're going to do it for SummerSlam, but not the weird thing, but like not until 2026. So is this going to be the first 2-night expansion? They're waiting that long, or are they going to do it next year? Is next year going to be the first 2 nights? They must feel pretty confident, and I'm sure they have good reason to right now, of doing a 2-night SummerSlam. 2 years from now, I have no idea what the industry is going to look like. So banking on a 2-night SummerSlam 2 years from now, thinking you're going to be as hot as you are now, is that's a choice. You know, people going to Minnesota. I know it's summer, but Minnesota.
Bust out the hot tubs, Jeremy. We're gonna go on Media Row.
I know that you're pushing this. You're pushing this. So
Rob Wilkins, you're listening. I know it's. Get your contacts. Get us the hot tub. We're gonna do In the Tub SummerSlam edition in 2026. Will this show still be on? Who knows? But if you want it on, you should absolutely make it happen. There will be no dinners in Minnesota, just hot tubs. Nothing goes wrong in a hot tub, Jeremy Lambert. Nothing goes wrong. Listen, you told me in a past life you used to sell these things, you know, and I'm sure you used to tell every single person who came in to buy a hot tub, nothing goes wrong in a hot tub. And then you would just slap that hot tub and you would say, you can fit so many people in this thing. And they'd say, sold.
And then they come back like 2 weeks later and be like, my pH balance is wrong. I keep getting on my test strips, I keep getting this color when it should be this color. And I'm like, oh, did you turn on the salt water sanitizer? Do you know this thing has a salt water system? Hot tub selling sucks.
Well, that's why you gave it up to do this job.
Yeah, it's a lot better, honestly.
Better or worse, you decide. You are the man with experience.
It's a lot better. I mean, I'm sure hot tub selling is fun if you were in an environment that's fun. That environment sucked. The people I worked with sucked.
Yeah, I can understand that. Bury them all the time. That's what we're here for. Anyway, listen, the 2-night SummerSlam is it's a lot. And like you said, 2 years from now, you don't know where wrestling's going to be. You don't know where the business is going to be. We don't know how the creative is going to look. people are going to be excited now, which they should be. It's cool. Minnesota getting their make good for the lost WrestleMania that they lost to Vegas. And also, it feels like, yeah, like you said, those top WWE pay-per-views, those tentpole PLEs, they're going to start getting 2-night treatments. 2-night Royal Rumble? Sure. 2 nights in Saudi Arabia, 3 nights in Saudi Arabia is a hell of a weird thing to do for a Royal Rumble, but they're going to probably do it. I say 3 nights because they'll probably do SmackDown there too again.
Yeah. So here's a discussion I was having when it comes to, clearly they're moving towards doing a Rumble or a Mania in Saudi. You know, it's talked about the Saudi, I forget his name, but he's part of the General Sports Authority in Saudi. Talked about 2026, 2027, possibly. You can get away with a 2 nights in America or Canada if you wanted to, because it's a travel destination. If you're let's say it's in Minnesota, right? Minnesota's not going to get another big event that year. They might get a Raw, they might get a SmackDown, they might get some live events, but they're not going to get another pay-per-view. They got 2 nights of SummerSlam. They're not getting another pay-per-view. So it's a travel destination for others in America. And if you're local, it's like, well, this is our big show of the year. We got to go to it. If you're running Saudi 2 nights, it's not a travel destination for people. And then if you're local in Saudi, you're like, well, we've already got 2 other shows coming to us this year. Why are we going to shell out for this show? Oh, it's a discussion to have at a later date.
Exactly, because our guest is here with us now. If he's ready, he can give us a thumbs up. That's the best part, of course. I hope he's listen, he's in the car, so I'm a little scared that he's driving while doing the interview. I know better. We're very excited now. House of Glory World Champion joins us right now. The one and only Mike Santana. Good morning.
Yo.
How you doing?
Mike, how you doing, man?
No worry, I am not driving, actually. I just got in my car. I just finished in the gym. Had a crazy-ass workout before this crazy-ass 4-day weekend. And I'm ready to go.
So let's talk about that crazy ass week you're about to have. You've got, listen, tonight at La Boom in Queens, you're going to face Matt Riddle. You're going to put your House of Glory World Championship on the line. The next night, you're facing JT Dunn. You're at UTC at Lowell, Massachusetts. And then you're going to get on a plane. You're going to fly out to London. You're going to be part of Progress's Super Strong Style 16. Your first match is Sunday against Connor Mills. What is wrong with you?
I wouldn't have it any other way. I said, listen, if you've been paying attention, I said that when I decided to bet on myself and I decided to take this leap of faith, it's either go hard or go home. I'm not doing it like any other way. I told myself I'm going to work harder than I've ever worked before. And the same dedication, the same passion, the same work ethic and nastiness that I put into being a tag team for 10 years, I'm going to do the same exact thing. And yeah, man, I'm hungrier than ever, and I'm excited for this weekend. When it initially got booked, I was like, all right, well, this is going to be the true test, and I'm excited, man. It's 4 different matches, well, 3 that are announced, and 3 different styles, 3 amazing competitors. So I'm excited.
I want to ask about the House of Glory show coming up actually a couple weeks from now, June 8th. Your show, Mike Santana presents Puerto Rican Weekend. Let me get that correct. I assume you got you're booking everything here. Like what goes into presenting this show? How much control of it do you have?
So yeah, for the most part, it's been a huge collaboration, but I've been having a big say in what's going on and who's getting booked and stuff like that. So yeah, man, this is something that Brian and I have had an idea for a long time, and I'm thankful that it's finally coming into fruition and we get the opportunity to make it happen on an amazing weekend, which a lot of people know, especially if you're from New York City, that is the biggest weekend for Puerto Rican culture in our city. You got the festival on 1/16th on Saturday. You got the parade on Sunday. And just the whole weekend is just a bunch of festivities, a lot of music, a lot of food, and we want to bring that to wrestling. Boricua wrestlers have had a huge impact in the business for a long time. I mean, dating all the way back to Pedro Morales, right? And I'm sure even before that, and our culture has had a big footprint in the business. So I'm excited to be able to put a spotlight on young up-and-comers and also pay homage to the guys who came before us and those who paved the way for us to have opportunities like we do, So, yeah, I'm excited, and I'm glad that, we're going to make it happen. And I'm excited. We got a big announcement coming up, hopefully this weekend. And it's something that we're really excited about. And I mean, I couldn't believe it when it was finally confirmed, and I'm excited.
Listen, I would be remiss if I didn't ask, because we are the outlet that does the scoops. Money, want to give it to us here?
Yo, you're gonna have to find out. You're gonna have to wait. I'm sorry, but it's gonna be exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it. And again, this is my first time really putting together a show and booking and stuff like that. And again, like I've always told myself coming into the business, it's very important for you to learn every aspect if you want to have a job for a long time. And I've always been one of those guys to do my best in trying to have my hand in my head in everything, you know what I mean? Everything from production to booking to storytelling to just everything that goes into it, man. Like I decided, like I've always been a huge planner and always staying ahead of the curve. So why not start that process while I'm currently in the business and I'm currently, still active and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask about Steve Macklin. Kind of friend of the show, kind of, sort of. You've said nice things about him in other interviews. That's no fun. Can you say mean things about Steve Macklin? You're about to face him again, upcoming episode of Impact. So Steve Macklin, just kind of not that great, right?
Why? He's a dick?
Yeah, I mean,
we
like Macklin. Macklin's a friend of the show. He's been on multiple times. We actually really like Steve Macklin. Again,
okay.
he tolerates us for some reason.
Yeah.
But it's no fun, like the niceties. Like
honestly, again, I've said it before. I have a lot of respect for what he's done for our country. I have a lot of respect for what he's done in the business. But like I also said, I'm here to take spots. I don't care who you are. From the top to the bottom, like he knows damn well he's gonna get these hands. So I'm, what more can I say? Like he knows what I bring, I know what he brings, and we both like to fight. Difference between him and I is that I think I'm fighting for a lot more. You know what I mean? This whole new chapter of my life and in my career, I have a lot riding on all this, and I refuse to fail. There is no failure here. So whoever steps to me, I hope you bring that same fire and that same fight, because you're in for it.
See, this is the difference between my line of questioning and Jeremy's line of questioning, because my question, verbatim, you said nice things about Macklin in an interview. Macklin then said very nice things about you in our interview with him shortly after that. And then I said, well, you say nice things about Macklin to keep the chain going, but we're not going to do it. We're good. It's cool. Instead,
they got a match coming up.
No, we're good. We did it.
Respect is respect, but at the end of the day, like when whoever I'm standing across in the ring, that shit gets thrown out the window. You know what I mean? Like I'm here to fight. So whoever it is, Macklin, Moose, Eddie Edwards, anybody, Matt Riddle, JT Dunn, anybody that I'm stepping across the ring from, let's get it.
So last time you were with us, we all cried on camera, and I mean that in like the nicest way possible. We had a really, really good conversation, a really honest one. And then we've shifted our conversation to the idea of taking chances on yourself. That seems to be the theme of the day for our show, at least. Talk to me about that, because now you're working in a single style exclusively. What What's that mean for you? And what does it mean to be taking that step for yourself?
I mean, it's a huge deal for me. When I came back in August, laid a whole plan. You know, I got out of rehab and I told myself I'm gonna go full force with all this. You know, I formulated a plan of my own, and once I started training in the ring, and I got that clearance from my doctor, it was like, all right, now I got to switch up my training. I got to switch up my mentality, and I did exactly that. And you know, thankfully, by the grace of God, man, like everything that I've planned and everything that I've set forth and said that I wanted to do, I've done, and I'm continuing to do. And I think that's just a testament to believing in yourself. You know what I mean? Like when you have this undying passion and you have this true belief in what you can do and what you can put out, nobody could tell you any different. You know what I mean? And I was one that I didn't take no for an answer, and I fought for mine. And even if that meant, you know, leaving somewhere and going to another and betting on myself and doing all this, I did exactly that. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, like, I don't know, like I've had this whole new mindset and clarity and serenity, and just, I'm ready to go. So I'm excited. And again, I'm just starting, right? Like I'm just starting on this path, and I've already honestly been doing pretty well for myself. And, you know, like the best is yet to come. Like I keep saying, you know, I'm excited, and we're going to keep it going.
What's your favorite coffee mug?
Damn.
Hard hitting questions.
Damn. Yo, like how you ask someone that has like 30 cups?
I know. That's I want to know. Like, can you pick one of like this one is the one that I enjoy drinking out of the most?
I have one. Honestly, it's one that my daughter got me for what was it? Was it Father's Day? No, it wasn't Father's Day. It was I think it was my birthday. She got me a mug and it said "You are the best." And yeah, that's the one that I enjoy. Because every time I'm not drinking out of that one and she sees me, she's like, "Yo, what's the deal? Where's the cup I got you?" So it's like I got to take coffee from one cup and pour it in the other, and it's like, all right, you happy? You know.
I like I feel like you've stopped doing them recently, but the coffee mug just out the window, just like here's to the day type.
Yeah,
of thing.
well, I took a little break because I've kind of switched up my morning routine, and I've been like getting in the gym really early and stuff like that. So, but don't worry.
Okay.
We'll get back to it.
You ever think you'd be fighting on top of a Zamboni and then into a cage like you did a couple weeks ago at Greektown Wrestling in Toronto?
I was scared as shit, let me tell you. Because when I first of all, I'm climbing over the cage and I thought my pants were going to get caught and rip. And then once I stand on top of the Zamboni, it was slippery as shit. So I'm like, yo, I just came back from knee surgery. I don't need this shit in my life. You know what I mean? But thankfully all was well and everything, you know, turned out really great. It was a really fun show. That was my first singles cage match, and it was a lot of fun. And Channing and I beat the shit out of each other all over that arena. It was a lot of fun.
I want to shout this out. No one would have saw this except for me and people who were in the back at that show, because I was at Greektown for that show. I saw you give some advice to the guys who were in the opening 6-man. I'm not going to ask you what kind of advice you gave. That's to you and them. But like, how important is that for you as, you know, the veteran, as the guy brought in for this show, to be able to impart that wisdom on the next generation?
It's very important. I was brought up to always. I was taught to always pay it forward. And I'm a firm believer in, you know, you got to get the next generation ready so that there could be a business after I'm gone. And yeah, man, like I try to offer as much advice as I can. Whether they take it or not, that's up to them. You know what I mean? But I'm one that I will always try to share my wisdom, and, you know, being in the game and have been blessed to do the things that I've done for so long, and yeah, paying it forward is everything.
We had Brian XL on the show a few months ago. It was right around the time you were actually leaving AEW, and he talked about kind of having talks with you about that, trying to give you advice with that. Now, of course, you've been working closely with House of Glory, working even more close now. What is it having, and I'm not saying other promotions, other companies didn't have a belief in you, but what is it like working with him, knowing like this guy has a true belief in me and is going to allow me to kind of do the things that I want to do, and maybe we'll push back on some things, but at the end of the day, we'll trust kind of my vision.
Brian and I have been friends for a really long time. House of Glory was always a place that helped us, when we were coming up. I started wrestling for House of Glory like 2014 maybe. And they were always ones that helped us grow and put us in matches that were going to allow us to grow and get more of a buzz. And we developed this relationship also because we both come from very similar backgrounds. We're both, two street kids from New York City that got into a lot of trouble when we were young, and thankfully we learned from our mistakes and decided to take a different route and make something better of ourselves. So we relate a lot to that, and I'm thankful to have someone like Brian believe in me, not just believe in me, but have as a friend. I consider him a brother, and we talk almost every day. Like for him to believe in me is it means a lot, because I've always believed in him and what he's been able to do alongside Amazing Red, and they've created something amazing for the city and for wrestling in general, you know what I mean? And man, I'm real thankful for Brian, and there's a lot of times we'll clash heads, but that's normal, and it's very rare, but when it does happen, it's like Brooklyn and Lower East Side, the Bronx comes out of both of us. So, you can only imagine how that goes. But man, for the most part, we're always very respectful and cordial with each other. And we always come to each other for advice. He comes to me for advice. I go to him for advice. And I'm thankful to have someone like that. I'm very to myself a lot, just in general as a human being. And I don't have a lot of people that I really go to for guidance and advice, and him being one of those people, it speaks volumes. And yeah, man, I'm thankful for him.
It's kind of a follow-up on that. House of Glory kind of big into delivering on some dream matches and stuff, and you working closely with them now, do you kind of get to choose a little bit of like, hey, it'd be really cool if you put this match together for me, or you just kind of take what they give you?
I mean, for the most part, like Brian will seek guys out and ask me what I think, and it's either a yay or nay. But for the most part, like I've been in this I guess this thing where I'm just trying to challenge myself against anybody, you know what I mean? So I'm welcoming anybody, and the only way to get better is to work with people who are better and more experienced than you. So I definitely try to welcome that. There's from time to time I'll be like, yo, what do you think of this person? And it'll be like, all right, let's try to make it happen. But for the most part, it's just whoever comes.
Well, before we let you go, we have a little game that we like to play on the show. It's called Partner, Promo, or Punch in the Face. I'm going to name you three wrestlers that you know and that you faced, and you're going to pick which one you want to partner with in the ring in a tag team match, which one you want to promo with in the ring and one-on-one on the microphone, and which one you want to punch in the face, have a one-on-one matchup with. Are you ready for this? He froze right at the right time too. He got out just before it had to do it. Have I caught you?
Yeah, you guys froze.
Okay, we're back now. Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you. Can you hear us?
No.
It's kind of
spotty. It's kind of spotty.
It's okay. We'll give it a sec. Tell me when you can hear us, and we'll keep it moving. How's that? How we sound?
It's like cutting in and out. Can you hear me good?
Can hear you. Can you
right.
hear us?
You sound good now.
Joel, just give the 3 names,
Yep,
Joel.
yep.
Yeah, 3 names. You're gonna pick up Steve Macklin, Matt Cardona, Josh Alexander. Partner, promo, punch in the face.
Promo, Steve Macklin. Partner, Josh Alexander. Matt Cardona, I'll punch him in the face.
I get it. I really do. Folks, go check out
like,
Mike Santana.
Like that now.
Please do. We'll cut it and send it to him too.
I just want to just randomly text him. Yo, I just want to punch you in the face. He's probably gonna text me a heart emoji.
Send us the screen cap. We want the confirmation. Check out House of Glory this weekend. The War Within is in Queens at La Boom, and then UTEC House the Glory of War. Santana is going to be on cards both nights. Both nights are going to be on Triller TV Plus as well. And then go to Progress, Super Strong Child 16. That's next. That's up for Mike. And of course, everything with TNA. Mike Santana, thanks so much for joining us. Is there anything else you want to plug before we let you go?
Yo, Puerto Rican Weekend, June 8th. Let's get it. Stay tuned for the huge announcement. And tickets are on sale. And also, it's going to be streaming on Fight. So, let's get it.
Go.
Safe travels this weekend.
Thank you.
Going all over the place. New York, Boston, London. Safe travels. Good luck. Have fun, man. Thank you for joining us.
Man. Thank you, guys. Be safe.
Thank you. Take care. Great chat with the one and only Mike Santana. We appreciate him.
Good to have him back on the show.
Yes.
Shout out to, I always like to thank people who set this up. Thanks to Sam at House of Glory who hooked this up for us and got Mike back on the show. He messaged me last night. I was like, what do you think about Santana tomorrow at 11? I was like, that sounds great. Let's do it.
Yeah,
So,
when you told me, I was like, wait a minute, was this a TNA thing? And you were like, no, House of Glory. And I'm like, oh shit, that's right. He's a House of Glory champion. Let's go. So it's nice to have Santana back. I'm going to be seeing him live and in person at Slammiversary in Montreal in July. So it's going to be good. Looking forward to that. And of course, checking out House of Glory this weekend and Progress as well, because my God, if there isn't enough wrestling on TV, you can always find some more. That's just what it is, including the 2-night SummerSlam conversation that we were in the midst of having. You kind of mentioned Saudi and moving into that world of doing 2-night shows, 3-night shows, and whether or not they'll actually get a WrestleMania or a Royal Rumble. And if that's maybe the first Royal Rumble, that's 2 nights. What do you think?
I don't know. Again, when it comes to the travel stuff and Saudi, it feels like Saudi has to, and I'm sure they can, make it worth their while, because you're losing out on I feel like you might lose out on a lot of just money coming in through travel and through merchandise and stuff. Because again, if Saudi already has 2 big shows a year, are WrestleMania or Royal Rumble going to sell the same way? Are people gonna, it's not a destination show anymore if it's in Saudi. You're not gonna get people coming to Saudi for these shows. I mean, some people will, but like, I don't feel like you're gonna get a whole lot of media being like, yeah, let me go to Saudi Arabia to cover WrestleMania. That doesn't
Might
feel
be
like it's
you might get other media. You might get media from other parts of the world coming in. I want to direct people, when you have a chance, check out Pollock and Thurston from this past week. They had on Bradley Hope, who wrote a book called Blood and Oil, and it's just about the Saudis and their attempt at rebranding. And you can use the term sports washing, whatever you want to use, to explain their entrance into the entertainment world. And one of the interesting facts that kind of brought up, not in fact, but the fact that WWE is being paid an extreme amount of money to do this, Hope kind of brings up the idea that it's a startup cost, because there's a huge risk in Saudi Arabia and WWE doing business. So Saudi has the money. What do? They pay an astronomical amount to WWE that they can't say no. And that is something that is going on with the Saudi Arabian authority. I can't call it a government because it's not, but that's what's going on with the Saudis, is that they are paying because they understand that, especially in the West, their perception is not a good one. And therefore, if they pay out through the nose for these events, more likely these other companies from North America are going to come through and make it work, because we have the entertainment. North America has the entertainment. Like in Europe, there is football, there is cricket in India, there are very huge other sports, but the NASCARs, the golfing, the wrestling, the entertainment stuff, that's mostly here in North America. So I thought that was interesting because, you know, WWE has expanded their partnership with the Saudis. What is the money going to look like moving forward? I don't necessarily think it's always going to be a $50 million per show type of event, because eventually they're going to have to make that a more usable partnership for the Saudi side of things. It's interesting, but go check out that interview. I thought it was very, very different take on the way that the Saudis are doing their Vision 2030.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't want to say too much about things. I don't agree with a lot of the Saudi stuff. Truthfully, I would not cover it and watch these shows if I did not have to. So
I understand it. I really do. I'm not gonna push anyone on their beliefs of whether or not they feel comfortable watching these shows or supporting what the money goes to it means and all that. I get it. I really do. I will tell people to go check out that interview, because it definitely painted a different picture than the one that we're used to talking about when it comes to the Saudi involvement in sports in general. But yeah, 2 nights in SummerSlam, that's going to be here, on North American soil. And I understand that the money is going to be more extreme if you do the Rumble in Saudi. That's $100 million right there, because they're going to pay the site fee already exists, so they don't even have to worry about the ticket sales. That's just extra padding on top. So it makes sense for them to do it from a financial gain standpoint. And yeah, you're right. There's probably going to be either no media or remote media, or people just saying, we're not going to touch this with a 10-foot pole. Well, we don't know what kind of coverage a show like that will get, and if it's going to be positive or negative, because that is a whole other can of worms with optics. You accept this amount of money. Live Golf has only done so well, which isn't very well. The boxing match, the Usyk and Fury boxing match was in Saudi Arabia. That got people talking. UFC is going to start, running bigger shows there. It's happening. It's already in existence. It's almost an inevitability that WWE does the same with a 2-night Royal Rumble, for example.
Well, they already gave them the greatest Royal Rumble. What more?
So
they
now
want?
they're going to get 2 greatest Royal Rumbles in 2026. And that's why I'm saying the SummerSlam 2026 thing, I think for the rest of this year, everything's planned out as single night events. And then as for the rest of 2025, I should say, I think it's going to be regular events one night. And then they'll start expanding 2 nights for those big PLEs. I don't love it, but it is what it is.
MJF.
Let's talk about MJF. Fightful Select reported MJF is a little bit closer to returning than most people think. Could be as early as Forbidden Door. Could be as early as, Fightful Select did not report as early as Double or Nothing, but from my eyes, it could be as early as Double or Nothing, in at least an appearance standpoint. I think my big question is, Jeremy, where does he slot in? Because one of the funniest things you said on the show, asking he appears, Joe Henry up here. Joe Ross Sapp. Hello.
Hello, Sean.
Yeah, I made what was it? Sports Media Rising Stars list, whatever that is.
So you decided to literally get a rising star.
Yeah.
Test. Yeah, gotcha.
I decided to eat Golden Grams, so I've got a Magic Spoon shirt on too, because they don't pay us anymore. Myself and Adam Wainwright are going to be on a couple other lists after tonight, because I'm going to throw about 107 miles an hour.
Yeah.
At Legends Field when I throw out the first pitch.
Have you practiced? Are you gonna toe the rubber?
I pitched a little bit like in college, not like for college, but like there was a league at my college and I pitched a little bit there, and I was pretty good. I was decent for somebody who hadn't pitched in years, but that was a lot of shoulder injuries ago. So I did get out there and I did some distance stuff, which 60 feet 6 inches is a lot longer than you think. The amount that they pitch from is a lot more distant. But somebody says SRS is going to need that Tommy John surgery. The funny thing is, I think I probably would. I've got a trapped ulnar nerve. So, like, if I was out there trying to pitch all the time, it wouldn't go well. I'd be hurt almost immediately.
Well, just talk to Dominic Mysterio. He'll give you pointers of how to avoid Tommy John surgery, right?
That's a good point.
He'll get you.
Oh man, I'm just getting so tired of standing up right now.
I could do this. Is such a stupid gimmick because I could do the same, and I just don't want to.
Okay. Yeah. That's what everybody says when they watch sports.
Yeah, I could do
And athletes like me.
They're gonna
throw out first pitches and make their desks go up and down.
That's right. Can you bring the desk with you to the first pitch, rise up, do the pitch, and then rise down or lower? Yeah, just do that.
Did y'all see that Wheel of Fortune clip right in the butt?
Right in the butt. I watched that thing once, and then all of a sudden, my entire timeline was that clip. I was like, all right, I get it.
Should be.
Yeah. My timeline just, thanks, Elon. There's a bunch of people that I follow or don't follow. So the clip just shows up.
Fightful
the what in the butt guy was way ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Maybe that was him. Maybe he was just under a different name.
He was confident when he said it. He's like, right in the butt.
Yesterday on Fightful Select, I did a prediction show. Had a Kenny Omega update on the free tier, MJF update, Natalia update, WWE employee cuts. Hot damn, man.
We were talking about MJF. Do you want to, add any more from the update, or let everybody know what the update is?
Not to bury anybody who put it out there, but when I saw that MJF has surgery thing, I was like,
yeah, you immediately told us, like, don't go with this.
So because my thing was, you mean to tell me he canceled all of his appearances in like March and early April, then got surgery, then did appearances? That's suspicious. I think he'll be there sooner than later. I think imminently. I mean, listen, if I had to guess, I would say over the next week and a half, I think on the West Coast loop, but because you can't do Forbidden Door without him, at least there.
NBA playoffs ending soon. He sees that. He's like, oh, wait a second. No more playoff competition. Time for Big Daddy Max to return.
He will make note of the viewership increase. I guarantee. I guarantee it. And listen, he would deny it, but that's the game that people like he and I play because, listen, I've reported things that people didn't believe. I'm going to put something funny in the private chat that you guys are going to get a giggle out of.
Is it the same thing? Jeremy, I already know.
Jeremy knows.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I'm not going to giggle out of it. I already know it.
I giggle at most things, so I will probably.
There you go, Joel.
Oh, yes, that would do it.
That's legit. I do.
I believe it. I really do.
But yeah, we're going to have more on Fightful Select today, including Corey probably finger wagging Dave Meltzer. That should be fun. But
I'm glad he's wagging his finger and not other things.
That's a weekly occurrence.
Not other things, huh?
No.
So I'm surprised you didn't say toe the rubber. I'd rather finger rubbers.
I got other. No. I mean, no.
Just left after that. What the hell?
Yeah, that was the joke, I guess. I did I made the joke last night. This is my weekly I talk about TNA for 10 seconds bit. You watched Hot Rod, right? You know the movie. Yeah. You like the movie Hot Rod. You know the scene where Will Arnett breaks up, or where Isla Fischler's character breaks up with Will Arnett, and they're in the car, and he's like, I'm going to go get a sandwich. You want anything? She's like, no. And then he says, okay, I'm also going to get us some dong bags so we can knock boots later. Remember that scene? And then she like, why are you going to hang out with those losers? Blah, blah. She breaks up with him. And then as she's walking away, he's like, no, babe, wait. Babe, wait, no, babe, no, babe, wait. You know, that's yes. One. Yeah, that scene. Yeah. That was basically PCO last night in his backstage segment with Steph Delander. Steph. And it was basically that. No, babe, wait, no, babe. And that's your TNA Impact review for May the 24th, 2020.
Exactly, no pop.
No, babe, wait, babe. Anyway, where does MJF fit into all of this?
He's gonna be the savior of Team AEW, right?
Of misbehavior.
Tony Khan's gonna be MJF's gonna be at I don't know if he drinks. He's gonna be at the cabaret maybe, and Tony Khan is gonna be like, I need the old Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and then MJF's gonna come back in a sing and dance number and start taking out the elite
with chairs to the head.
Yeah.
He's gonna use the flamethrower. It was actually misdirection. It's not Darby's flamethrower he got. It was actually Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and it's Maxwell Jacob flamethrower.
And now, crack! The end is near, crack! And so I face, bam! My final curtain, whack! My friend, boom! I'll say it clear, bah! I'll state my case, boom! Of which I'm certain, bop!
How many people is he doing this to? That's a very...
I don't know. People just keep coming out in droves, you know? The elite get back up and everything.
So what song does he come out to now that he's back?
I just did My Way. He comes out to Frank Sinatra's My Way.
Do you imagine he comes out to New York, because he does the Forbidden Door bit? If I can make it here. Anyway, yeah, this is great. TNA not showing Sean on screen. He was too busy taking all of his photos, was Sean Ross Sapp. Anyway. Yeah, it should be Judas. He should come out to Judas, should MJF. I am the Learning Max. This MJF return is very interesting to me because, like you said on Thursday, remember when Adam Cole came back and he walked right off of AEW television? And that's a good point. We haven't seen Adam Cole, Bebe, on TV in an official AEW and in his role as the Devil since he walked. So what are we doing?
You can watch him every Thursday being the Elite Arcade. I actually don't know when that airs.
Him and Uno doing their thing. That always pops me. By the way, Jensen going off on kayfabe was just fantastic.
Man, Jensen hated that.
Brother, let me tell you about Uno. Sorry, you gotta watch the episode. You gotta watch the show just to catch the reference. Oh man, it was supposed to be me and Warrior in a triple threat. We were gonna bring in Andre, dude, but Andre wasn't doing so well, bro. Anyway, the MJF story when he left was the Undisputed Kingdom reveal, and then Undisputed Kingdom did what it did. It looks like Roddy Strong is possibly dropping that international championship at Double or Nothing to Will Ospreay. That's a story that moves on. Where does it all go? Maybe do we just drop Matt for now? What do we do?
MJF should just not mention it. Just be like, never happened. And then Adam Cole can start like standing for his attention. Like, Max, remember what I did to you? And MJF's like, who are you, dude? What happened with us? We were friends? You turned on? I don't remember any of this.
Must have been a
Cole trying to beg for his attention. Remember the Devil? Remember the kangaroo kick? Remember when we went to Outback Steakhouse? Remember all this, Max? And Jeff's like, no, I don't remember any of this. It just gets his mind erased of that whole thing.
This is MJF's Aunt Viv, you look different moment. And then they just move on, and that's it for the next 5 seasons.
But then, it's deep into things of, but then he finally remembers that all the things that Adam Cole did to him, and he snaps on Adam Cole, and then he gets his big revenge on Adam Cole. But he's trying so hard to ignore it because it was the worst time of his life, everything he got put through. He doesn't want to recall these issues with Adam Cole, so he's just trying to ignore it until he's had enough and he snaps. It's all part of a bigger story here.
MJF comes back and says, I had a lot of time to talk with my therapist, Wendy Lucho. I don't know what happened to her when I finished, but man, she was great. If anybody's seen her, tell her I say thank you. And then we move along from the rest of the show. And yes, eventually the trigger word snaps him back into it, and we're back to 2023 World's End. Just carry on from there. Adam Cole wins the world championship.
I don't know if that's gonna happen at this point.
I wouldn't either. Listen, man, I mentioned this in your chats, and I was on Twitch, so obviously no one pays attention, which is great because that's where I can get all my hot takes off. By the way, twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming, we're still live there. You mentioned the Adam Cole stuff, and I kind of said to myself, because this is an incredibly online company sometimes, I feel like they read the report that they're pulling him from the road because his healing hasn't been so great. That like he came back 2 weeks later, less than that, got up and walked just to be like, "Ha ha, told you so," and then you never saw him again. And it's just one of those. But he got up and walked, so clearly he's okay. But no, he's clearly not. If he's not able to, compete in the ring, we hope Adam Cole comes back soon. But other than that, we haven't seen him. We don't know where he is, other than at home playing video games.
Remember, he gave like the stare to Wardlow.
Oh yeah, that was the moment.
He was like, give him that stare. Remember when Mercedes Mone got attacked?
Who do you think did it? I do remember. Maybe Serena Deeb did
I don't know if they care who did it. They've not mentioned this or anything. They're just like, yeah, sure. Was it part of the video package on Wednesday?
I don't remember. I remember they made reference to it weeks ago, and nothing ever came of it.
No.
I
assume like it'll be it'll come out of, it'll be revealed of what happened, but the fact that they have not bothered to really follow up on it is just like, okay.
Yeah. You got beat down. It was me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was during the Sky Blue Julia Hart stuff, but now Julia's hurt and Sky Blue is, there. So.
But here's the thing. We don't know that Mercedes set it up. It's never been talked about. It's never been addressed other than it happened.
Yeah. I think after Mercedes wins on Sunday, she'll address it. She'll talk about it. And then that'll be that, we'll see.
Listen, you had Cam on the show talking about the exchange between Jade and Mercedes as a talent exchange. It was Bow Wow. He thought it was Jade, but he hasn't been watching the show. So
that would actually be hilarious.
Bow Wow versus
Bow Wow had like that friggin' 1998 cell phone anyway, so he probably did confuse the two.
Yeah, that's how it works.
I fully believe it, actually.
Taking video from way up here.
Yeah. Bow Wow had no idea what was going on, so I actually believe it was Bow Wow. You know what? I'm for this. Let's push this agenda.
Good. I'm glad we got here. But so going back to MJF, does he merge back into traffic in the world title scene, or does he go right back after Adam Cole and we start heating that up? What's the plan for MJF that makes sense and makes him a huge draw, given what Sean, and we were just talking about, and that is he's going to want to pop a rating. He's going to want to be the reason the ratings go up in AEW. What's the best return on investment for an MJF return?
It's honestly like it's a tougher question than it might seem, because the MJF that left was burnt out doing a storyline that the payoff could not be immediately followed up on because he was hurt and then Adam Cole was hurt, and that story has now not even put on the back burner. Like, that thing is in recycling. And maybe you can get it back out and be like, hey, remember this? But like, that's where it's been this entire time. So, now Swerve is the champion. It's not even Samoa Joe anymore. You have the Elite in the AEW storyline. That's the biggest thing going on. It feels like if he's going to fit somewhere, that would be where he fits, is the Team AEW, Team Elite stuff. But in that sense, is he the savior of Team AEW? I don't think he sides with the Elite, because it doesn't fit that group. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't feel like he fits in the Elite group. They have their top guy in Okada. They have their power wielding people in the Young Bucks. They have a guy they want to push in Jack Perry. MJF doesn't take a back seat to those guys, but he ain't the focal point there. He can kind of be focal point of Team AEW, because what's Team AEW? Who is Team AEW. You make the focal point of that team anybody you want it to be. And right now it's not. Right now it's a collective of Danielson, FTR, and Darby. There is no like top guy of like, this is the guy. I think if you really want to maximize, this is a topic of AEW as a whole. You want to maximize MJF, you make him the standout person. Because what's the complaint of AEW? I don't think it's a complaint. I think it is a valid criticism of the company. Jim Ross has said as much. They don't have the top star. They make everybody feel about equal level. They don't have a guy that stands out above the rest. They don't have a Roman Reigns. Oh, it's like, this is the guy you're tuning in for, no matter what. Even a Cody Rhodes, to that extent. They don't have that guy that feels like they really stand out above everyone else. They have guys who could be that people. You know, Will Ospreay, Okada, is his aura gone? They have guys who could be that, but then they put him in a 9:00 match, 50-50 with Kyle Fletcher, and it's like, is this guy that big of a deal? He's there. MJF, that's a way to make him stand out, this is the guy to lead AEW. MJF going around to try to rally all these people that he's wronged. Could be something there. I don't know if full babyface MJF works. It could still be a dickish kind of heel. It can still be, I'm only doing this because Tony Khan's paying me a fat check. And I don't like these guys thinking they have all the power. These guys suck. There's ways to make it work.
Simeon makes a good point. MJF was betrayed by a group, essentially. So joining Team AEW, like, there's some PTSD that exists there. So if I'm MJF, I'm like, oh no, I'm not trusting anyone again. There's no greater good here. The greater good is Maxwell Jacob Friedman. But like, you left him setting up as a babyface. You left him set it up as the guy to cheer. But since then, Will Ospreay's come along. And you want to talk about guys that you can make into the guys. Will Ospreay is that guy. He has proven time and again that, like, anytime he shows up, I know that the cliche he shows out, but like, he does, whether he's cutting a promo, whether he has a match, whether he's just there. And I've mentioned this in other shows, like, he comes out and he knows the steps to his entrance perfectly. And that sounds so silly, but that's a presentation thing that not everyone gets in professional wrestling. But he's got it from like, and it's seamless. He makes it look like he knows where he needs to step. Not that he's like, okay, now I do this, then I do this. And I get it. This is nitpicky, but this is something that really does help your presentation as a character, as a wrestler, as a performer. It's knowing how to be natural and making the audience believe that you are so big that you're supposed to know that you know. Ospreay's that guy. MJF coming back, maybe the idea is that he goes after wanting to be that guy because he was that guy and now someone's taken that place.
Maybe, honestly, maybe MJF comes back full heel, goes after Swerve, who is a babyface, and is like, I don't give a fuck about this power struggle that you idiots got going on. I just want my world title back.
I want money and I want championships, and that's why I'm here. I signed my new contract. This is what I got, everything I wanted and then some. Now I'm here to take over in the name of MJF. That's MJF. That's fine. We saw what babyface MJF looks like, and honestly, I don't think it turned that many people on. I don't in a way that they wanted to continue seeing it. MJF can continue to be that guy and be the bad guy, and I think most people would be okay with that. Make him that final boss, and I don't mean that in like the Rock way, but I mean that in like, make him the top heel, make him the top bad guy. Start working on Ospreay as the top guy in the company. And again, I do agree with what people like JR say when they mention a depth issue in AEW. If everyone's over, nobody's over. If everyone's presented the same, then nobody stands out. And it's something that I want to continue to see AEW build on, is making certain feature stars feel like they are the reason you watch the show, buy a ticket, come to hang out, and come to watch the show and enjoy it. that being said, Double or Nothing is this Sunday, and I'm sure we're all going to say, man, that was a really good show. That was because what do these wrestlers know how to do? Spoiler alert, they know how to wrestle. And they're going to have
wrestle. It's the best wrestle, Joel.
Allegedly and trademarkedly, we're the best wrestle. And that's cool. That's great. Going to enjoy the hell out of Double or Nothing as a wrestling show.
You know what we're going to do right now, Joel? We're going to go outside before all this wrestling.
Touch some grass.
Yeah. Joel, take care of the show for just a minute or two while I get my phone and get outside. I'm not going to take my laptop outside. I'll be back, everybody. Everybody, right now, get up. Keep watching on your phone. Switch over to your phone like I'm going to do. Come outside with me. All right?
I'm sure none of this will end poorly for anyone. I'm playing around with different stuff here. I will say this. The learning tree. Jeremy Lambert today going out to touch grass means that he is becoming the learning tree. He's going to introduce us to it. He's going to show us the learning tree. He's going to touch some grass. Y'all are going to join us as well. By the way, update on the fire alarm situation from well earlier. Everything's cool. No problems. That all went away because, of course, it did. It was a false alarm. So you don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to go outside. Pile driver finishers working out. Go take your barbell, whatever you're doing, and go outside. If you're on the treadmill, run your ass outside. Just do that. Do a few laps outside and you'll be good. Speedbunk saying the gnats are ticking you off. That's fine. That's what you do when you're outside. You're upset. You're upset at being outside. That's why you're supposed to go outside and enjoy every minute of it. And then you're going to, I know my lights are blocking my first name because I don't have a first name. I'm like Chris Jericho. I'm the learning tree, but I am the pearl of wisdom. You don't need a first name when you're me. Are y'all looking forward to the weekend? Are you looking forward to a big weekend of wrestling? Did you enjoy Mike Santana on the show? Did you enjoy our friend Cameron Hawkins joining us to talk about the stuff on the ringer? What are we doing? What are we doing here? Don't use lavender. Make friends with them. Make friends with the gnats. Follow the learning tree under our tutelage, under our leadership. Big Bill being part of the learning tree, perfect Impact reference. Big fan of that. Jeremy Lambert went outside to touch grass and look for MILFs. It's true. The MILFs in the weeds. In the MILFs. Nope, can't do that one. We can't call it that. Because if you knew anything about that, it would get us demonetized right quick. Or maybe it would just be our Patreon exclusive. We don't have one yet. Maybe someday. Maybe in the hot tub. In the tub is going to be a Patreon exclusive. No one should be back at work on Monday, especially if you live in the States. By the way, for those who are enjoying a long weekend, go and have fun. I hope it's great. I hope it's full of excitement. I hope that the fireworks do not make you crazy. It's not a long weekend here, but I'm going to enjoy it anyway because I got plenty to do at home. Got plenty to do. Someone asking the best sandwich I ever had. I'm a fan of the Reuben sandwich once in a while. Or sometimes a good Cuban sandwich, a good Cubano. If I can get a good one, a good sandwich is a good day. Or a salad wrap. You get some protein, you put it in a salad, you mix it all up, maybe some pico, some guac, some cheese, put that in a wrap. It's the best thing in the world. Jeremy Lambert's just taking his sweet time, letting me filibuster throughout this entire 5-minute segment, apparently. What a week. What a week. What are we having for dinner tonight? It's noon here. I'm starting to get ready for lunch. I'm peckish. I got some rice, beans, and ground turkey. Put that in a sandwich, in a wrap. You know. By the way, get well soon to Kenny Omega. There's a free post up on FightfulSelect.com. I'm not talking about TNA because Jeremy Lambert has returned.
Joel,
Jeremy.
I'm gonna hand the phone off to my lovely wife. Look, you can see the playground, the house in the background. Look at that beautiful house. That's where Sting's son sleeps every now and again.
I was gonna ask if that's where Wendy Lucho's staying.
Yeah, maybe. Everybody, I can't see the chat. Hold on? Let me pull up the chat here.
Chat hasn't asked anything. They don't care.
All right, fair enough. All right, what we're gonna do now, everybody? We're gonna touch some grass. All right, so my wife's gonna have to lean the phone down here. We're touching grass. Everybody see that I'm touching grass out here?
Here we
Touch
go.
some grass, everybody.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Oh dear. This seems bad. I'm not even gonna end this. Honestly, this is you look like me going to synagogue wearing the shawl and the kippah. You look good. I'm just gonna let this sit for a minute. You know what? Enjoy your weekend.
Now go home and smoke some more crack.
For Jeremy Lambert, I am at Joel Pearl. We're back on Monday. Go enjoy a big weekend of wrestling. Oh,